All right, guys. So I posted the part two of this individual that shot and killed a Bigfoot, and then the government supposedly confiscated it. And as you people that heard it originally know, there were some holes in the story. They were quite obvious. Um, but I had some time finally, so I wanted to start looking into some things, things that I could actually look into. Some of it I just can't look into. It's just impossible. Um, But one of the things that bothered me the most, well, I'm not gonna say bothered yet, but uh, one of the things that was easy to look into was the named sheriff in here, Leroy for Pawnee County. And so started looking up the sheriff because I wanted to try to find out some information about the situation. Because you all know there's just some things weren't adding up. But so looking into doing some investigating on this sheriff. The sheriff, he was the sheriff, um, real person, real person in that county, real sheriff in that county. But there's a big issue because, as you know, the sheriff is named in the video of the interview 1 and 2. And he mentioned him coming out and he's there and the conversations with them, and the second part about how he came out and talked to him about being pressured. Well, in looking into the sheriff, learned a lot about him, and one very, very important detail um, that just completely changes the credibility of a story. And we don't know why, but why he would say that or use the sheriff, I don't know. Um, like I said in the original video and the second video, you have to listen to it and come to your own conclusions on it. But we just wouldn't really know anything until we get the supposed pictures, but which I don't think will ever happen because I don't know. Maybe the guy did shoot something. I don't know. We just don't know. We may never know. But for right now, this is nothing more than just a story. Because the Sheriff Leroy. Okay, so the issue with the sheriff is the sheriff. He was sheriff in 1985, and he was sheriff for 14 years and 3 months. So do the math on that. That means he was no longer sheriff in '99. Also, the sheriff is deceased. I don't want to go into his death and all that stuff because it's we got to remain respectful for this individual. But the whole point here is the named sheriff that is out there and has all these conversations with them, et cetera, et cetera. That's just impossible. So, with that being said, you got to take it for what it is. This is just a story now. And basically just for entertainment purposes. But I want y'all to have the option to listen to this second and third interview that's on this video. I kept it the same. So there were a lot of things that made the whole story sound completely credible. And as time went on, certain holes in the story started happening, and it just kind of became up in the air at that point until the pictures could be produced. And if pictures show up in my mailbox, I'll shit my pants at this point. But excuse my language. But for right now, it's just for entertainment purposes, and I want to leave it up. I want God to be able to listen to it. And you can leave your comments below. But there you have it. And if we get more information, we'll definitely update. That's the whole point. But when we get a story, we give it to you. And if we find out something, we're going to give it to you also. It's just the way it goes. But so, yeah, I'll just let this play, and you can choose if you want to listen to it or not. All right, so this is the second part of the individual that unfortunately shot and killed a Bigfoot, and the government confiscated it. I know a lot of y'all have been waiting and waiting and asking for updates and updates and updates. So it took a little time, kind of let things cool down a little bit. So Roy Parker was able to get in contact with the guy again, and they discussed a lot. He did record the conversation, and I was going to go and actually pick that up from him so I could edit it. But before I did, I was able to get a hold of the guy on August 12th. Excuse me. And the conversation was exactly the same as what Roy had with him. And so there was no point in picking up that recording from Roy. But thankfully, Roy was able to reestablish communication with them. And, it turned out the guy was just extremely busy. He, works full-time in the off-season, plus ranches, travels a lot. So I'm just happy we got communication reestablished here. So you'll get to listen to this interview. I'm trying to ask some questions that's on a lot of y'all's minds, and trying to get more information. But this is a two-part. August 12th was the first communication. August 28th was the second. And but I know everybody's been waiting for this update and more information. So we're glad we can finally get this to you. And I don't want to say a whole lot because it's pretty much all in there. So let's just give this a listen. And from there, we'll go with any more updates we can get. You're going to get a lot of information from this video. So take it for what it is. And then we'll go on from there. And it may be time, a little bit of time before we get more information or the actual pictures. I know a lot of people's questioning the pictures, so just listen to the video and you'll get the update on that. But it's time consuming. This stuff takes time. He's a busy man. We're busy too. And also, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because here in September, investigations are going to ramp up. We're getting back out there. We've got a lot of property investigations to do. We're also going to be working with a few other groups, South Texas Bigfoot Investigation, Southern Bigfoot Alliance, Into the Woodline, Texas Natural Unified Research, as well as a couple others. I apologize for them if I just don't recall who all is involved right now. There's going to be more added to the list, but we're going to do a big area investigation, working together with all the groups in the San Luis National Forest. So that's going to be exciting, and whatever we find from that, we'll bring to you. Got another property investigation September 17th. I'm not going to say a location on that. 2 more property investigations in October. So it's going to be busy. And but as you know, everything we find, we'll make a video and put on here for y'all. I mean, that's the point of everything, is to get the word out. So, and on another note, just a big shout out and thanks to everybody that has subscribed. It's been a good solid little over a year. Finally got over 1,000 subscribers. So the more subscribers, the better, because like it says in the name, acknowledgement, awareness, and preservation. The idea is to get these things acknowledged, and then to be aware when you're in the woods, what's going on, what is that noise, what am I looking at? Everything to do with Sasquatch is with the acknowledgement and the awareness and the preservation. Preserve our woods. Only you can prevent forest stupidity. So do your part. Also, on another note, this is very important. Even though we're bringing the story to you, it's like I said, very important that you realize that we are a no-kill group. We don't have anybody in this group that wants to kill a Sasquatch, agrees with killing a Sasquatch. Now, with that being said, everybody's situation is different. Like in this guy's situation, we got to take him for his word on he didn't know what the hell he was shooting, and I did ask him why in this, so you'll just have to listen to that. But I just want to emphasize we are no kill. All right, everybody. So thanks for watching. On August 12th at 7 p.m.
Hello.
Hello, Jim. How the hell are you? This is Shane.
Oh, I'm trying to spell on this fucking TV.
Had a good time?
Oh, yeah. I can do two things at one time.
All right, good deal, man. Good deal. That's good to finally talk to you. But
yes, sir.
yeah, I was talking to Roy. He was talking about you're still having some activity as far as the good old law enforcement, whether it be BLM or the Oklahoma boys. But are they coming up to your actual residence, or are they just kind of staying in the vicinity?
They're bothering me on the county road is what they're doing. They're not allowed to come on the vicinity because I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
And my sister works for a big corporation, and she had her corporate lawyer contact them, and they wanted to know why they were up and down this county road so much, and they don't have an answer. And then my sister's like, well, I know what the answer is. She's like, won't we just be honest about it? Because she kind of took a little bit of rain, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just tired of these motherfuckers. And the next one I see, if I'm in my one time, I'm just going to head on with the son of a bitch. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Right.
And she's like, no, you can't do that. I was like, yeah, you can do any goddamn thing you want. The simple fact is, I'm fucking tired of these son of a bitches, and I want them. There was never a cop on this fucking county road ever. I've lived on this county road for 22 and a half fucking years. I've never seen a county cop on it. I've seen a game warden a couple times. Big deal. That's his part of the time during fucking deer season.
Right.
But these sons of bitches, and they glare at me.
Huh.
They know what vehicles I drive.
Now, when you see them, are they driving down the road? Or they just parked.
Well, my neighbor, he's old, and what he done, he accidentally left a fucking round bell in the middle of the road, so it would stop them sons of bitches. And I thought it was funny as fuck myself, but
Yeah. I don't blame them one bit there. But
no.
So they're just driving around basically, or
they go all the way to the river, and they turn around and they go all the way back. And there's two turns between the highway and my house before you get to my house. You could go fucking east, or you could go west.
and they just go straight down and come on back the other way.
They go straight down to the fucking river bottom, turn around. I even went down there. They got like a fucking U-turn cut now. Well, you know, if they'll leave me the fuck alone, I'm gonna be ready to tell the whole fucking story. And the only two pictures that I got left, I want to release them.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Roy, I said, you know, he's probably needs a little time for things to cool down, you know. And
I've never been bothered like this in my entire life, ever, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that kind of goes to show. what happens in this situation, and you're not alone in this either. This has happened before, similar things, pretty much the same things. The good thing is, that apparently this Bigfoot was pretty much just by himself, because you didn't have any retaliation. If there had been other ones with him and they'd seen him, I think you'd have had an issue. But
I don't know that he was or he wasn't, because my old neighbor, he's found rocks where they ain't supposed to be, and I helped him move one with my flatbed one day. The same guy, I helped him move a fucking rock. I turned my truck around and fucking just backed into it and pushed it out of the fucking way.
Yeah, that's one Roy was telling me about. There was a pretty big rock just sitting in the middle of the road. So.
Well, I bench pressed 265 and I couldn't budge it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I couldn't fucking move it.
Are there any inclines on either side of the road where a rock could have come down?
No.
Or
No.
Really? Huh.
No. None.
Now that's interesting. How far away is that from your house where that rock is?
And I don't know. And another thing, what I was telling Roy, you don't find rocks that big unless you drive 9 or 10 miles to the north.
Huh.
We got a few rocks around here, but they're about as big as a fucking beer can.
Yeah. So for something to carry that and put it on the road, that's got some strength behind it. So.
Like I said, I bench press 265 because I do it every morning. I do 10 reps every morning before I go to work. I couldn't pick this motherfucker up.
Yeah, that's nuts. How far away from your house do you think that rock is?
The rock that I pushed off from my neighbor?
Yes.
Across the road, a quarter mile it'd be to the north, and then you turn in his driveway. Okay.
So it was blocking his driveway, or both roads basically going to your place and his, or?
It was on the county road side of his cattle guard, and it was a little bit. It wasn't rolled off of a vehicle. That's the first thing I thought. Well, fuck, maybe it rolled off of a fucking vehicle. Well, why in the fuck would somebody have a rock that big on their fucking vehicle?
Right. Yeah,
why would it roll off and then roll uphill? Because he's got one of them dome driveways, that way it don't erode when it rains. Why would it roll uphill?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a real good point. That's just really strange. Has he had activity on his property?
He's lost a few chickens, and he had a dog. His wife's little dog come up fucking missing. But I told him coyotes probably got fucking chickens and the dog. And he's like, no, we don't have one. Okay. Never heard of coyotes. And he said the little dog was out during the middle of the day. I said, well, that kind of trumps up the fucking coyote deal, because coyotes don't fucking hunt dogs during the day. They hunt them of a morning and of an evening when they're howling.
Right.
And I was like, well, how many chickens you missing? Oh, he said we started with, I think he said he had like 50 or 60, and he said we're down to, I don't know, about 40. I'm like, well, there's more to this than meets the eye. And he's like, I already know everything that's going on. Why don't you just be open about it? Me and him have been neighbors for 20 fucking years. And I should have just been open about it right off the bat. Then me and him sat down on the fucking flatbeds of our trucks, and we started talking, and I told him the whole story. And I'm like, if you just drive over to the house, I said, I'll get them photos off my pad. I said, first off, they confiscated my phone. The first thing they did is they confiscated my phone, and they deleted all, even pictures of my dad. They deleted every fucking photo off my phone. And I had nothing backed up. My sister does that shit for a living. She couldn't find it nowhere, so she had to send me all of them pictures of my dad back.
Oh wow! They just completely swiped that phone clean then.
Yeah, I lost phone numbers of guys I haven't talked to in fucking 15 fucking years that I used to work with. We'd call once a year and shoot the shit. And I don't have their phone numbers no more.
Wow, that was a big time sweep then. If they even took numbers off your phone.
My sister's like, if this lawyer gets a hold of this, that's an invasion of privacy right there, because there wasn't no warrant out for you. You've done nothing wrong yet. And for them men to just take your phone away from you and do that, they're going to have to cough up 2 fucking names, and then them men are going to have to answer for all that, and it will be in the court of law in front of a judge.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll try to find some way to make it not happen, but anything to keep it out of the public's eye. It's crazy how far the government will go. But
right now, I'm ready to go to federal court with it.
Right.
You know, I think if they keep fucking with me, I'm just going to surpass the fucking county court. I'm going to go ahead and file a federal complaint court, a federal fucking, and not a complaint court. I'm going to file a federal complaint with the fucking complaint with the federal court. Excuse me, because now I'm getting excited again. They have to accept it, because Sis showed me that on paper. They have to accept it, and they have to call these people in, and these people have to answer for what they've done and why they've done it. And because I've still got 2 fucking pictures left, they're going to have to be the ones in denial, not me.
Right, right. Now, has your sister helped you back those up at all? Make extra copies? 'Cause...
Yes, and she has printed. As a matter of fact, I was going to fucking talk to Roy today, and I'm just going to fucking UPS overnight pictures.
Well, the hell yeah, that'll work. So.
And then what I can do after that, I can text a picture of myself without anything, just me and a fucking horse, or me in a fucking cowboy hat.
Yeah, see if it goes through.
And if it comes through, and then when you see the pictures, you're going to say, that's the same motherfucker right there. That's him.
Right.
Oh. So, and I was going to tell Roy I wanted to do that. So when we're off this conversation, if you would, text me your address, because she printed out, she went to that fucking Kinko's over there in Stillwater that has nobody in it, so they can't fucking look over your shoulder. She printed out 10 copies of each photo, and I've got 5 of them in my gun safe, and she has 5 of them in her fiance's gun safe.
Okay, good. So you're well covered on that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I still got the hair samples in the fucking freezer, and I still got the rubber gloves that I had on, that I got blood on. They're in the freezer as well.
Okay. Do you still have the plywood and the tarp, or?
Yes.
Okay.
They are now wrapped up in Visqueen and duct tape tight, and they're in my barn. And I didn't want them fucking with nothing else that I had, so I picked up like 5 of my saddle racks and I slid them down just like they were levelers, and I put the saddle racks on top of them. That way it just looks like they're just stabilizers for the saddle racks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good deal. Because, I mean, if we can get that with the photos to back it up, I mean, we can get that to the right people easy through the right channels. Of course, we're not going to turn it all over. Because you know how that goes. But.
People going to try to help me tell these motherfuckers to leave me alone?
Well, that's going to be the hard part right there. I think time is the only thing that's going to make them leave, as long as they're not listening in on phone calls. But
I don't know that they are, and I don't know that they aren't. And really, at this point, don't give a shit. They can listen to every phone call I have, because they wouldn't have liked the one I had when I was leaving work, and promise you that.
Well, I'm glad that, you know, a lot of people just don't have the, I want to say, the courage to even talk about it. So, you know, I really appreciate that you got the courage to come forward on this, and you ain't scared of them son of bitches. And
I didn't have a fucking choice. So. Because, see, Don told us it's my cousin. And what I won't do is I don't steal and I won't lie. And Don knows I've done some bad shit in my life. Not drugs or anything like that. I mean, I'm just one of them people that set things straight when they have to be set straight.
Yeah, I got you. Well, we've all done some things in our life that were not 100% right, but, you know. And Don, was that the sheriff?
No. Now, my sheriff, his name's Leroy, and him and my dad, when my dad was alive, him and my dad illegally fought chickens in Oklahoma together, so you know how me and the sheriff are.
Right.
But it's the same sheriff. He come by one afternoon, and he's like, Jim, they've called me again. He said, forget this whole fucking issue ever happened. I said, how do you forget something happens when people are trying to prove it's real, Leroy? And I had one laying right here.
So the government's still contacting him about this?
Yeah, they told him, because me and him or him and my family are friends, they told him to, you just go shut him up. See if you can shut him up. And that was his exact words.
Huh.
I was told to come and try to shut you up.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, then I mean, I don't have much doubt that they're listening.
Hell or not. They got you can't arrest somebody for shooting something that the government swears don't exist.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So,
well, that'd be like walking into the sheriff's office with a fucking 2-foot-tall alien and say, I just shot this motherfucker in the head. He's in top of a tree and I was trying to shoot a fucking squirrel. Don't know what the fuck it is, but here it is.
Yeah, you're right.
You're fucking good to go, man. You're out of here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, exactly right. So. But if you don't mind, that day that you shot it, now, when you were looking at it, did you have any idea what the hell it was?
I'll tell you the whole fucking story.
All right.
I'll tell you the whole fucking story from fucking front to back. I didn't see him one time. I seen him 2 times. And he was a male. The first time I saw him, I was coming up out of my fucking west pasture. And my west pasture's got a pretty damn nice lease road on it. And it leads to the river. And I was coming up out of it. I just went in there and checked some calves that I dropped in there and fed them a little bit. And I was coming up out of it, and I drove by. There's one little brushy clear cut in there. The rest of it's pretty much open pasture. I'd say open as much as the old pasture's about 80% open. And I was coming up out of there, and I fucking seen something out of the fucking corner of my eye, so I fucking stopped and I backed the fucking truck up. And you just have to fucking take pictures of this fucking hill that I'm talking about to understand the incline. And when I backed up, I stopped, and it was about 110, maybe 120 yards. I thought, what the fuck am I looking at? And all of a sudden it ducked, and then it stood up, and it turned, and it went into the fucking cedars. And I told Roy this. You can't push yourself through them fucking cedars. They're so thick right there. But he was in that sumac. And he went fucking south and went straight toward the fucking river. I just kind of, I don't know what the fuck I just seen, but you know, whatever the fuck it was, okay. And the next day, when I was going in, I came in from work, and I'm going down in, I go down into the pasture, and this time, I turned my 06 around, because I normally carry it barreled out. I turned that motherfucking barrel up. And I just went ahead and run one in the chamber and fucking kicked safety on, because I'm in the truck by myself. I went down and fed my fucking calves and counted them, and everything was good, and I was coming back up, and as I'm going by that fucking clearing again, that little old fucking sumac thicket, that motherfucker stood straight up that time. And he wasn't in the same spot. He was like maybe fucking 15 yards off of where he was the first time. When he did that time, I just fucking throwed her in fucking neutral, hit the fucking brakes, and pulled the rifle out, and I put it right where you shoot a man in the fucking heart, and I fucking touched that motherfucker off. Went down, came straight up, and went straight into them same fucking cedars. And I said, I don't know what the fuck I just shot, but I'm gonna go get my future brother-in-law, and we're gonna bring in fucking big guns out here, because I ain't tracking something that I can't shoot a lot of fucking times. that I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You didn't think it was like a man or anything like that, though. When you saw it through the scope, you could see that it was something hairy, right? So.
I couldn't tell you. It was not a fucking man through the scope, because I keep all my scopes set on fucking 6 power, and it was only 110 fucking yards off of my pasture road, maybe 120. That brings a white-tailed deer up to where you can see the fucking the eyelashes. You know that.
Yeah.
And me and my brother-in-law went back out there, and I was walking down in there, and this time I'm carrying a DPMS in fucking 30-06. And I loaned him my DPMS in 308. He's like, "You're fucking serious?" I said, "I don't know what the fuck." I said, but it was still daylight. We still had daylight, a lot of it. I started easing down to where them cedars are, and I said, "There's fucking blood right there." He said, "Damn sure is." The blood's neck high to me, and I'm 6'1". So we started trying to ease through the cedars. I was like, "No, just come around, and we'll go over here and come back in." We couldn't push our way through them, so we had to ease around them. And I found some more blood, and we went about another 35, 40 yards, and he was headed straight toward the fucking river. I'm talking, you could draw a string line to the river bottom. And we went about 40 yards, and we got into some more fucking sumac. We cut through it, and then I started finding a lot of blood, because he bled all in them sumacs. And we got through the sumac, and we come over a little old hump, and I fucking knelt down, and I'm like, "Get out." I was like, right fucking there. There it fucking lays. I'm going to ease up on that motherfucker, and if it goes to get up, you got fucking 20 and I got 20. Don't fucking hesitate to waste them all. And I eased down there, and I touched him a couple times with the muzzle, and he didn't move. So I waved my brother-in-law on down there. We rolled that summit over, and I told my brother-in-law, I said, "If this is a fucking costume, I've just killed a fucking man in cold blood." And we went to fucking looking it over together, and we both had rubber gloves with us, so we put our rubber gloves on. We went to rolling this motherfucker and looking, and and then I opened its fucking lips, and I said, "This ain't no fucking human. This ain't no fucking human."
They have a pretty big mouth.
A little bit bigger than humans, and what I was telling Roy, you know, a human has canine teeth, but they're not like a dog's. They're not as long.
Right.
These have got canine teeth, top and bottom, and they're long enough. When they close their mouth, they cross each other, but they're not just overly like fucking daggers or nothing like that. I would say, oh fuck, as big as he was, his canines on the top were maybe 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches, and the bottoms were about 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, something like that.
How far do you think they stuck out compared to his regular teeth?
Huh?
How far do you think those canines stuck out compared to his regular teeth?
Half the distance.
Yeah, okay. So he got some big teeth regardless.
Yes.
Okay.
And what I was telling Roy, when we got this motherfucker loaded on plywood and got him pulled out of there with a fucking four-wheeler and got him to the barn, and that's kind of when my sister showed up, because my future mother-in-law called her, of course. And I'm like, "Just keep your fucking mouth shut. We don't know what's going on yet. I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know if we're going to go dig a hole and roll this motherfucking thing off in it. Don't know what to do yet." And my sister's like, well, check this and check that. We started fucking doing things, and she's like, "You need to get a blood sample." And I just happened to still have them fucking gloves, and they were in my back pocket of my pants. I said, "Well, I got these," and I rolled them inside and out. The blood's on the inside.
Oh, good, good.
And she looked at it, she examined it, she just dropped them in a Ziploc bag right then, just plop.
Those are the ones that are still in your freezer, right? So.
Yeah, they're still in the So is my brother-in-law's. They're in another Ziploc bag.
Good deal. So I got to ask you a question. This is the question that everybody's had, and I want you to just be just 100% blunt with the answer, really. But the biggest question everybody's got is why did you shoot it?
Because he was in my fucking pasture and I didn't know what the fuck he was, and I care more about my cattle than I do about strange fucking animals and fucking dogs and stuff. And I knew he wasn't a dog. I knew it wasn't a dog. And we don't have no bears in this country, or we think we don't. And the only other thing I could think, that's a bear standing up looking at me. 2 times in 2 days in the same place. But when I threw the crosshairs on him, it wasn't a bear. And I'm like, nah, I don't know what this fucking is. And I fucking squeezed the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Don was saying. He's like, motherfucker, you did 2 tours in Iraq. You were just protecting. That's all you were doing. He said, you acted on influence. He said, I said, influence? He said, he did. I didn't mean influence. He said, you just acted off of fucking second nature.
Right.
And I told Don, if I could have it done all over again, I said, I'd just moved all the cows and calves out of that pasture and just let the motherfucker have it and let the lease go.
If you don't mind me asking, when did you do your tours?
Huh?
If you don't mind me asking, when did you do your tours?
I did them in 91, 92, and half of 93 before I got shot. I was over there with Norman Schwarzkopf when he was running the operation. And I didn't get to meet him, but I got to see him one time when he gave us a pep talk.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was like real close. I mean, I got to see Norman Schwarzkopf real close.
I love that.
It was 2 months into my 3rd tour. We were doing a fucking tank, and we were on a fucking side of a dune, and the tank had got stuck. It actually had got stuck, and they had left it. And there wasn't nothing wrong. They could have come and pulled it out if nobody had been around. We went up there, and we set the charges and the fucking C4. We was just gonna blow the fucking tracks off of it, you know, and blow a bunch of fucking shit up on the inside. And as we were going back to our fucking Hummer, something stung me in the fucking leg, and then you heard the pop.
Yeah.
And everybody fell down and got in a firefight, which I did too. It was just a fucking shot in the leg. And then something stung me in the right arm, and I looked and I switched arms and went to my left, and we stayed in the fucking fight for about another fucking 5 to 10 minutes. And then when they shot me in the fucking belly, I'm like, I can't play no more.
So you got shot 3 times?
I got shot 3 times same day.
Damn. You're a lucky man.
Yeah. Because when we got back and they started fucking doing surgery on me, they're like, we're going to cut his leg off because it busted his bone. And I'm very lucky, and I still thank God. There was 2 German intern doctors there from Germany. They said if you will ship him to, if you let us stabilize that leg and ship him to Germany, they can fix that. You don't have to cut it off. Well, after being shot 3 times, you're getting shipped out anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they shipped my ass to Belgium. I spent 11 weeks there, and I can walk.
Yeah, thank God for them guys, huh?
Yeah.
You don't talk about the right place at the right time. You didn't get lucky once, you got lucky twice. Somebody was looking out for you.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Are you at the house right now?
I am at my house right now.
Okay. Do you have a iPhone or a regular phone? I call it a regular phone. I guess you call them Androids, but
I don't know. I don't know what the girlfriend got me.
Yeah.
But,
Would you can I video call you and see the picture of that thing?
Yeah, I gotta call my sister so she'll unlock the fucking vault because she's got my keys to the vault because I didn't want them fuckers getting in my house and finding my keys to my gun vault.
Oh, I don't want to have her drive over there or nothing. So.
Well, he lives 8 miles.
Yeah.
I can call you right back. I'll call her and tell her to get her ass over here.
Yeah, that'll work, man. I appreciate that. So.
Fucking right. I'll fucking video that with you and show you the pictures.
Yeah, and I can take a picture right through the phone, so they can't steal that shit. So.
True. let me get off here and give her a call, and I'll call you. When she gets over here, I'll call you right back.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I appreciate it.
I never even thought about doing that because I video chat with my girlfriend a little bit at work, every once in a while, so I know how to do that.
Yeah, it just dawned on me today because I was trying to figure out some way to do this without them intercepting. So, yeah, that'll work if you don't mind that, man. That'd be great.
They can't touch the fucking mail.
Yeah, that's federal too. So
they can't the fucking mail. They can't open a document because they don't know where it's going and who's it's going to, unless the drug dog can smell drugs on it. And I don't do any fucking drugs.
Right.
So that would fuck them right there again.
Absolutely. But yeah, if you don't mind, give her a call and just call her back at me. I'm right here. So
give sis a call real quick.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Like I said, I give her my keys because I keep 3 rifles out anyway, and I just give her my keys. I'm like, hey, because if I'm gone fucking 2 weeks and somebody breaks into the fucking house, I don't want them fucking finding my keys hanging right there and fucking getting in my gun vaults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's smart. So I'm glad you did that.
Take these motherfuckers to your house, and if I need it in the gun vault, I'll just call you and you can come over and fucking we'll open it and you take the keys back with you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So.
He's like, well, you carry one of the keys with you. I carry one key in my pocket. That's my truck key. I don't need to lose shit.
Especially that.
So, yeah, I'll give her a call real quick, bud.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'll be standing by. So.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Okay, so at this point, as you just heard, we've kind of agreed to do a video call, and I'll be able to look at the pictures through that and take the screenshot to the phone. A couple of problems though. As I agreed to call him back, I gave him, I believe, about 30 minutes. Called him back and didn't get an answer, so I sent him a text saying I'll give him another 15-20 minutes for her to get there, give him a little more time. He said perfect. I actually gave him about 30 extra minutes. Gave him the call back, and there was no answer. Which, even if he had answered, it wouldn't have mattered because on my phone it showed the video call with him was unavailable. So that wouldn't have worked anyways. But I did have questions as to why he didn't answer back after being so willing to talk. But a lot of what this guy says, though, is, I mean, it's very believable. Everything about it is very believable. But people have all these encounters, and we take them for their word. Whether you listen to them on podcasts, radio shows, whatever it may be, people have encountered all the time. These people come forward and they tell their stories, and we believe them for the most part. Some of them are just too outrageous, and then as investigators ourselves, and we hear some encounters, we're like, yeah, this is not matching up to what we know. But none of them have pictures, but none of them, or most of them, don't claim to have pictures. This guy does. So with that being said, since this guy says or claims he has the pictures, that's absolutely 100% vital in this whole story, is these pictures. And so I'm able to get back in contact with this fella. It was 3 weeks later. I didn't want to wait 3 weeks, but me and the wife, the kids came down with COVID, and it kicked our ass. I'm going to tell you, it really put us down. I'm still trying to get over a little bit, but after I started feeling better, because I had absolutely no energy whatsoever, I sent him a text, hey, can I call you today? And I told him I was going to call him at 7:15 p.m. and that would have been August 27th. And he agreed, said he got off at 7. I was going to give him a few extra minutes to adjust after work. I did call him back. Didn't get an answer. I called him back again. Well, actually, I texted him again, letting him know that I'll give him a little more time to get home. I'm going to give him another call. I did. Still, again, no answer. So I was a little discouraged from that. But the next day, August 28th, he called me back, which really surprised me. That shows a lot right there that he called me back. But when he called, I was going into a restaurant with the family, so it was a bad time, unfortunately. That's the way it goes. But I told him, a couple hours I would call him back. I did, and he did answer. And so what you'll hear now is, 3 weeks from the interview you just heard. It's 3 weeks later. Because the interview you just heard was August 12th. Excuse me. And, I'm going to ask some questions, that were on my mind, questions that were on y'all's minds. Why he didn't answer when I called back for the video call, even though it wouldn't have worked. And, I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to let you listen. And we'll go from there. Hopefully what he says he's going to do, he does. Because, now he wants us out. And now he's okay with using his name. And usually when a person's okay with using their name, there's a very large amount of truth as to what's going on. He also didn't care about using the sheriff's name. However, I'm not going to use the sheriff's name because I don't have the sheriff's permission. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not that type of guy. So you guys that want to complain about that, blah, 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 go for it. That's not me. And I won't do that if I don't have somebody's permission. It's called respect. And in this field, you got to have it or you're nothing. So we'll get this going, let you listen. And I'll be patiently waiting to see if something arrives in the mail. Hey Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm alright, man. Sorry I couldn't talk earlier.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to keep you long. I just had filling in some blanks here and stuff. I guess what happened the other night, did you just end the night or what?
I've been gathering cattle up here for about 28 days, or no, it ain't been that long. It's been 18 days. I got 10 more days to get them all in, and me and the boys from down home, we've been working daylight to dark, working out 4 horses a day, and that's pretty bad, especially in the heat.
Yeah.
And this old country up here, I don't know what it's like down there where you live. This son of a bitch up here is just straight up, straight down.
Oh, yeah.
I wore out 15 dogs.
Damn.
Tomorrow we're taking a whole day off. I told them, I said, we got to have a whole day off.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, so I just fall asleep to it.
I ain't killing my fucking dogs, and I ain't killing my horse.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So, did you just fall asleep the last time I talked to you?
Fuck, I guess I did. Them boys said when I fucking hit the mattress, they said, you was down, old man.
That's all right.
I fucking woke up and I had fucking socks on my feet, and he said, I fucking pulled your boots off and you didn't even wiggle.
Yeah, well, you was tired, man. That'll do it. So, but hey, yeah, I guess I was curious, man. When you guys or when you tracked that Bigfoot after you shot at you and your it was brother-in-law, right? Your brother-in-law?
Yeah, it was my ex-brother-in-law.
Ex-brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. When y'all found that, how did y'all get that back to the barn?
Put him in a goddamn sack. Pulled him out of there with a fucking side-by-side.
Okay.
On a tarp. I call it a sack. Put him on a tarp, an old tarp, and zip-tied it a little bit, and then roped it, and then grabbed the whole there with a side-by-side and come up out of there with him.
Yeah, just pulled it the rest of the way back down to the barn?
No, we pulled it up the truck, and I took the fucking winch on my flatbed. We set 2 2x12s up, soaked it up on the truck, and then we covered it up with another tarp. That way I get through town.
Oh, okay. Is that sucker pretty heavy when you and your ex-brother-in-law tried to get it all wrapped up?
It went over 800.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's no joke right there, so. Okay. And,
like I said, he's a male. He was a male, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure that was pretty obvious. So, but you said, I guess the first time your brother-in-law, he really didn't want to have anything to do with it, right? So.
No, he wanted nothing to fucking do with it.
Okay. Yeah. Did he leave once y'all got it back to the house, or?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he fucking left.
All right.
And then he went home and told my sister. And my sister, she's my bloodline, so she come right on back out the house. What the fuck have you shot? I said, I don't know. So I pulled the tarp open, and she said, well, I don't know either.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I said, I know one person to call that can help me, probably, maybe, I hope. And she said, well, you better make that fucking phone call.
Yeah.
She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to take that bobcat, dig a hole out something, bury this motherfucker.
Which never got to that point, though, right? So.
No, it's already been confiscated and everything.
Yeah. Before you.
No, because she went down and she fucking, my sister being my sister, she started calling and fucking talking to people and this and that. And the next thing I know, the fucking sheriff's out the house, or the deputy was, and the next thing I know, the sheriff's out the house, and the next thing I know, there's some men out there, and the next thing I know, I'm fucking getting fucking, I thought, goddamn, I'm going to jail. I said, hey, do I get a phone call? Well, you're not going to jail. I said, can I use my goddamn phone? Well, yeah, you can use your phone anytime you want to. And I called my sister, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking jail. These motherfuckers are lying to me. Call our lawyer. She said, you're going to jail, I'm coming out there right now. I said, I'm going to fucking jail, call the fucking lawyer first. You ain't no fucking help. They ain't going to fucking listen to you when they're cuffing me.
Right. And all those fellows there, how many of them did it take them to load that sucker up in the truck?
Do what now?
How many of them did it take to load that thing up in the truck?
Just the winch.
Oh, they used a winch? Okay.
Yeah, I just use the winch. You use the winch and a strap and 2 2x12s.
Well, I mean, when the government officials loaded it up in their truck.
I don't know. They had me off to the side of a building, and they had my phone on the other side in another car.
Oh, okay. So by the time you got back, they had already loaded that thing up.
Yeah, and the only thing they didn't take was the plywood and the disc clean.
Wow. Okay. And before you shot this thing and you were seeing it, if I remember correctly, you had told your sister that you were seeing something, and
I only seen it one time before I shot it.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get that straight right now.
And you were asking.
One time.
And you were asking her to go back out there with you to look for it before you actually went out there with your ex-brother-in-law, right?
No, didn't ask that at all. No. When the next time I came out of that same pasture, goddamn, I got to retell the whole story again. I guess you all don't believe me, but that's fine.
No.
Next time I came out of that pasture, it was pretty much standing in the same place. Like I said, the first time I seen it, I know that country very well. I rode it all a horseback. Every inch of it. And where it was standing, I thought, what the fuck? That's a little bitty, what the fuck is that? And I fucking got realizing it was standing down on something low and was looking over a fucking hump. And I didn't never measure the hump or anything, but I know it's a fucking, you gotta walk up it and step down 3 foot to walk back down to where it was standing. So that's probably a 6 foot hump, I'd say. And the second time I seen it, that's when I popped it.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what the fuck you are, but
And then when you got it back to your house, that's when you called your sister, right? So.
No, I didn't get it back to the house before I called my sister.
Oh, okay.
I called my fucking sister when I went and found blood. I walked back up to the truck, and I was like, I ain't going into that brush by myself. I need to call my sister and see if my brother-in-law will go in there. My brother-in-law is a good hand with a gun. Or my ex-brother-in-law, whatever the fuck he is. He's almost ex, whatever they are. But I got to have him because I want a good hand with a gun and somebody I can trust.
Okay, yeah, I got you now. That's where the confusion was, because I thought that you had said that you had called your sister about her going with you up there, and but
no.
You called her, and your ex-brother-in-law is the one that went up there with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't take her in that brush with me.
Yeah, good.
I ain't gonna do that to a girl. I didn't know what the fuck we was getting into.
Right.
But when I walked into that blood and I seen them fucking leaves, when I finally found blood on leaves, they were neck high to me, and I'm 6'1". And I'm like, I know where my crosshairs were at. I know where this gun shoots. And I know I didn't fucking pull the trigger. I squeezed it. And we kept walking, and the fucking blood level pretty much stayed the same with the terrain. And when it got a little bit thicker and a little bit frothier, we walked up on a little knoll, and I was like, just stop. Let me just stare down this motherfucker. And we was looking down it, and I said, right there. The brother's like, that's a log. I said, logs don't have hair.
Yeah.
Right there. I said, go around there, get a clear downhill shot. Let me know when you get it. Just send me a text. I said, I'm walking straight down through that motherfucker when I get the text. I said, but you make sure you're on that motherfucker. And it took him about 2 minutes, and he texted me, he's like, I'm good. Another buck. And I walked right straight down to him, and when I walked up, I just did him like you do a bear. I walked right up to the fucking head, and I put my boot on the back of his head and wiggled it. And I walked around, and I fucking tapped the shoulder, and I looked up the hill, and I nodded. You know, it's okay, we're good. Because I knew my brother-in-law wasn't going to shoot me if that motherfucker was laying there idle like a bear does.
Okay, when your sister started talking to people, that's how the cops found out?
Yeah, I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was going to dig a hole and bury motherfucker.
Yeah. Man, that is crazy.
I ain't going to lie to you. I was going to dig a hole. I didn't know what to do. I was going to dig a hole and bury something.
And
I already figured that I sat there the fucking night that I was going to bury it the next morning. I was sitting there that night and I was drinking a fucking few beers, and I'm like, you know what? You're already going to hell for being in a war and killing people. You can't go to no more hell than what you've already done today. Let's just fucking get this over with and be done with it, and then everything's fucking said and done.
Yeah.
And then I'll fucking put a raised tomato garden or something there, and nobody will ever think about it.
All right. Now I got to ask you, and I had two things that come to mind. When we originally drove up there, first thing I thought was it was just all too overwhelming, and then the second thing I thought was maybe somebody had gotten to you when me and Roy drove up there, and we couldn't get in contact with you.
Well, I work on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm in Winona, Kansas, and that's in almost Colorado state line.
Okay.
I came up here because it's my off season for what I do for a real living. So I come up here and I contract out fucking bringing cattle in off the high range.
So when we came down, you just weren't there.
No, I wasn't there. I was not there. But I didn't know I was getting a phone call in a fucking day and fucking leaving out.
Yeah.
That's the way my job works.
It's on the fly, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way my job's worked for the last 30 years.
Yeah, that's good. Well, something I want to do is I want to give you my address because you're talking about sending the pictures.
Yeah, I want to send them. I'm not going to shoot anything over any fucking web thing. I got it. I got a pencil and piece of paper right now.
And I'd give you Roy's, but I don't know Roy's, so you'll have to get that from him.
I'm ruling myself.
Okay.
Give me the address.
All right, and that's in Belton, Belton, Texas, and 76513.
76513.
Correct.
Okay, let me reread this. That way you get it back.
Okay.
Belton, Texas. 76513.
That is absolutely correct. So.
All right, I got all that down.
You know, everything. Some of the stuff you say is spot on with other witnesses. I'll say. And so yeah, I mean,
everything I've been through right now with these fucking assholes, I wish I'd have never done it.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with, and I think the last time I spoke with you was, I think 3 weeks ago. I mean, but I think it's been about 3 weeks now. In that 3-week time, were they still on that damn road?
Every day.
That's crazy. They're still around there. Have you had any activity whatsoever at your place as far as noises?
I don't know. I ain't been home in a week and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
I loaded my dogs and my neighbor's dogs, and me and my neighbor loaded our horses, and we loaded these cowboys from up there in northern Oklahoma, and we came up here to push these cattle out of these fucking hills.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were worried that you were going to get some retaliation from other Sasquatch when this happened, but I was pretty much 99.9% sure that this thing was by itself. No other Sasquatch saw what happened, and so I think you were safe there, obviously, because time has passed, and nothing's happened. So.
Well, unless they call it a protected species, there's nothing they can do to you.
Exactly.
I looked into that.
Exactly. Yeah,
the government's going to have to name it, or they can't touch you over it.
Right. You can't get in trouble for something that don't exist. So.
You can't get in trouble for shooting a fucking ghost.
Right. So. But yeah.
And if they don't want to call it, then they can't touch me over it. And that is exactly what our lawyers, me and my sister's lawyer, said. They can't touch me. They don't have nothing.
Yeah, about all they can do is try to make your life miserable. But I think in time, you're not going to see them anymore. It's just going to take some time. So.
Motherfuckers bother me the rest of my life. I'm at the age I don't give a shit. I'll flip a cigarette, hit them in the windshield with it. It's my fucking dirt road. It ain't theirs. They don't live there.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking pull over and tell them that. I'll push them off in the bar ditch and tell them that.
Well, I'm sure they'll get the message.
I'm to the point I'm not afraid of them no more. Now I'm mad at them. I'll just be honest with you.
No, that's understandable. So.
And I did tell that one little punk motherfucker the last time I talked to him. I said, do you understand I was shot 3 times in a fucking war? He's like, no, sir, I don't understand that. I said, well, you know everything about me. Why don't you know that? He said, we didn't go back that far. He said, you're just a union bullet maker and a farmer, and a cowboy. I said, yep. I said, also served 3 tours in Iraq. Got shot 3 times. My last tour. He's like, sir, we didn't know that. And I said, well, why don't you do your fucking history on something before you fucking jump on something? I said, here's the way it is, son. I'm at the age now, I don't give a fuck about you. And I don't care if your kid ever sees you again. And he looked at me kind of fucking weird when I said that. I said, I'm going to see my kid tonight, but I don't care if you see yours again. And I'm going to leave that right here in this fucking dirt road. And I hope you got your fucking radio on to where everybody else heard it. And I got back in my fucking truck, and I fucking spit snuff right down the fucking side of his fucking door of his fucking car, and I fucking drove off.
Well, I think you got the point.
Well, I'm tired of fucking with them. And they finally got me from being scared to mad. And that's what my sister's afraid of now. She's like, that motherfucker will burn the whole fucking town down if he's pissed off. Just fucking don't mess with people. Just quit messing with me and I won't fucking bother you ever again. That's the way I live.
Right. Hey, when you had this thing laid out, did it have much of a neck?
It didn't have any fucking neck.
Just all muscle going up to that sucker, right?
It was fucking just fucking muscle all the way to his ears. I mean, I'm sure he had a neck. But
hello?
Are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, I lost you for a second there, but
No, he didn't have any neck. I'm sure he did have a neck, but it was just muscle all the way up to the fucking bottom of the fucking jaw.
And did you happen to see any ears whatsoever? Or were they covered in hair?
Yeah, you could see ears. They were human-type ears.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you can see ears. They're hair covered, but you can see them.
Interesting. Damn.
And they got big lobes, like an Indian.
But, well, I mean, man, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to ask those questions just to clear it up. And I already know why you shot it, because, you know, protecting your livestock.
I didn't know what it was going to do.
Right.
I know I had a cow cabin. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's $1,200. I'm not a mean person, but I'm just protecting everything I own.
But yeah, man, probably what I'm going to do is I'm probably not going to contact you for a while, just let things just kind of calm down there. And unless something happens, and, you know, just give me a holler. But
well, when we get back home, we'll be home Monday afternoon.
yeah.
Because we're going to leave Monday morning early, like at 4 o'clock. We'll be done here. Tomorrow ain't going to take much. There's only 22 head left. That ain't going to take much to bring them out. I'll bring them out with the dogs only. And when I get home, we'll leave Monday morning early here. I will get everything in the mail to you Monday morning.
Okay.
That's when I get home.
Yeah, that sounds good. Send me a message and a tracking number or something so I can track it. So.
Yeah, I'll send you a message and I'll add a tracking number.
Okay.
It's going to be first class with a tracking number.
Okay, yeah, that works. That'd be great. I appreciate that, Jim. So.
Yeah, it ain't no problem, sir. I just want this to get out there now. Fuck it. If I'm already being, these motherfuckers want to fuck with me, let's let these motherfuckers know we can fuck with them.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. I mean, the picture will stamp it. But
what are they gonna do with a picture of me squatting beside it?
well, they sure as hell can't deny it.
No, because I can come to fucking Texas and let you take a picture of me. No, he really looks just like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you look like, so I got the credibility there. So, you know, there's
They
no.
can't fuck with it no more.
No.
Then the government, the only thing they can do is try to shut you up and try to shut me up more.
Well, they're gonna have a hard time trying to shut me up because I don't have anything they can take. So. But.
What can they take what can they take of mine? Nothing. They didn't take it to start with, so they can't come back on, what is that, rehibition is what my sister's words was. They can't come back on rehibition.
Yeah.
That's the lawyer term.
Mm-hmm.
I said, where's my constitutional rights at? We surpassed the Constitution. No, we haven't. No, we have not. We've never fucking surpassed the goddamn thing here. to me? He said, no, I can't. Can you? I said, you goddamn right I can. I said, maybe I'm a 70s child. Maybe I learned something in school. I didn't get to play on the fucking internet. I said, we learned shit from books, from old fucking school teachers that didn't fucking like you to start with. And I kind of looking down on him, and that's when an older officer stepped up and said, sir, you can calm down. I said, I don't need to calm down. You motherfuckers that need to fucking quit fucking throwing all this fucking propaganda bomb shit out at me. I don't fucking live like that. Fucking facts are fact. Don't start throwing out your shit that you can't do. Start telling me shit you're going to do.
Right on.
First off, and I told that one deputy before the sheriff got there, and the sheriff's a family friend. I told that one deputy. He was trying to figure out, do I handcuff this motherfucker for murder, or do I take the gun out of his truck? Like, no, you don't touch none of my shit. I'm on private property. You can't touch anything of mine. You don't have a warrant. You can't touch anything. The only thing you can legally do is call a OHP and call in a drug dog to have them go sniff my house. And that's the only thing legal that you can do. He said, are you sure about that? I said, I know my fucking laws. That's the only thing you can do right now. You have no search warrant. Nothing. You got nothing. So when the sheriff got there, he's like, Jim, can I just walk in the house? I'm like, you got to take a piss or what? He's like, yeah, I need to piss real bad. I said, yeah, go in the house, piss. But like I said, sheriff's personal friend. He didn't go in there to look around. He didn't go in there to snoop. He just went in. I seen him go right into the bathroom outside the kitchen. Come back out. Come back out of the house. He's like, God damn, I fucking air conditioner bill, don't you? And I said, I don't like the motherfucker, but I ain't gonna be fucking hot. And me and the sheriff sat there and talked like that for probably 20 minutes. He goes, hey, let's get down to business. All right, let's get down to business. He said, do you know what it is? I said, nope, and you don't either. He said, I don't. I said, what do we do about it? I said, I'm going to cover a hole. I'm going to dig a hole and cover the motherfucker up. He said, I wish you'd have got that done. He said, then I'd have put a tomato bed right over top of it. They didn't fucking just thought it was tomatoes. I said, I didn't know nothing about it. Fucking waited too long. Waited fucking 12 hours too long, bud. And that's when he said, let me try to cover this fucking shit up and get it over with. And then they fucking, apparently, they pushed him where he's worried about his job. Because he's only got 2 years left for retirement. I can understand his part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And what were they pushing him to do, just for the cover-up?
They're not trying to cover anything up. They wanted him completely out of the scene where they could bull him out my ass.
So they tried to pull rank on him.
They pulled a lot of rank on him.
And did he falter?
Do what now?
And did he falter?
He's called me a couple times and he came out to the house after work and had a couple beers with me while I was home. And we talked friend to friend. And he told me, he said, I don't know what they're doing. I can't find out. He said, I'm just going to tell you this right now, young man. He said, you watch your fucking back. I said, what are you talking about? He said, if you don't combine with them motherfuckers, you're probably going to disappear. I said, really? That's interesting. He said, I don't want to have to go kill a bunch of sons of bitches over my best friend's kid. a long time. I've been making her a lot longer. I said, the only thing is, if I call, just don't give me a fucking 2 hours for you to come out. And he laughed. He said, I'll give you 4. I said, I'm just to be honest with you. If you're being honest with me, I'm going to be honest with you. And his name was there in Payne County.
I'll definitely keep the name out of this. So.
He's old enough, he don't give a shit no more.
Good old
That's
boy.
one of the last good sheriffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jim, I sure appreciate you talking to me on this and answering these questions and everything. And
yes, sir. Like I said, Monday afternoon we'll be home, and I will, as soon as I get these fucking old nag horses and dogs unloaded, I'll run to town and I'll get everything in the mail to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. So
I'll just get it in the mail first class, and that way, sis, you didn't want to know shit, and I do have the photos now. I got my copies. Actually, I got 4 copies in my gun vault. And if them motherfuckers can get into that gun vault, they had to call literally, they had to call Fort Knox Gun Vault Company. And they might have the inclination to do that, I don't know.
right.
But then that's breaking and entering, because they still got to have a warrant to do that. And it's got to be served to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Just text me when you get that going, and I'll definitely be immediately and patiently waiting. I'm excited. So.
No.
It's going to make all the difference in the world, and there won't be no denying this shit. So.
Yeah. I want this shit now. I didn't want it known publicly, but now, yeah, let's make this motherfucker public.
Yeah. Well, I've kept your name out of everything. I'm not going to put your name in nothing, so you don't have to worry about that. So.
I'd like to see it make the world news.
Yeah. Well, if it makes the world news and you want your name in it, then you can tell me you want your name in it. But but till then, I'll leave your name out of it.
Put my name in it from now on.
For now on.
Fuck them now.
Are you absolutely sure?
I'm absolutely 100% positive. Fuck them now.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'll put your name in it, and we'll get this going. And as soon as I get those pictures, then we'll blast it to the damn world.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'll do is make copies, and I will drive to people I trust, and they will all get copies of this as well. That way, there is no chance of it disappearing. So.
They can't disappear now for sure. Like I said, I got 4 copies. I got 1 set of copies in a safety deposit box, and then I got 4 sets of copies in my gun vault. And I don't know how many copies my sister's got.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're covering your ground there. So. Well, let me know as soon as you get those in, and like I said, we'll get this thing blasted. So.
Yes, sir.
I sure appreciate it, Jim.
Yes, sir.
You have a good rest of the night.
You too, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, so for right now, that's going to be the last conversation we'll be having with him, because as you heard me tell him, we're going to let a little time lapse between our next conversation, let things cool down, especially since he's still got some government activity going on there. You heard me give him an address. Of course, I bleeped that. I blanked the address out so y'all couldn't hear it. I don't need thousands of people sending me crap. But what we'll do now is we'll patiently wait for these pictures and keep our fingers crossed that they come, because if they do, we'll get this out there. I won't hide it. I won't be threatened. There's nothing that's going to stop me. So we'll discuss this further. So for now, take it for what I gave you, and we'll go from there.